Once upon a time, there was a knife maker. A knife maker named Martin Huber. He recently achieved 10,000 followers on Instagram. And he promised a giveaway, but he didn't know what to deliver. He thought and thought. He had many ideas, but none really made the cut. But one day, his employee said, "Oh, Mr. Boy, I have an idea." Hello and welcome to the 10,000 follower Instagram giveaway video. We're gonna start a project that's gonna be big. Not that big, but big. As you've already seen, we are forging a Wakizashi. That's pretty much an in-between of a tanto and a katana. So it is around 400 to 500, 600 millimeters long on the edge and has a typical Japanese sword handle. And some of you might think, Martin, why a Wakizashi? Good question. I don't know. But Chris had this idea and I thought it would be pretty cool to do. So, trying to make a template right now. Normally I don't work with templates, but since it's a special piece, I'll maybe do one. Pretty happy with how it looks, pretty happy with the size. So this is going to be 480 millimeter length on the blade itself. And if you think right now, Martin, that's a hell of a lot of a blade for a tiny weeny little tang. First of all, it's not tiny, it's a good size. Be proud of yourself. Everything bigger is it's enormous. That's not good. Be proud of yourself. You have 9.5 centimeters. That's good enough. But back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. I'm gonna do a little cutting like I drawn right here. I'm going to make an inlay out of stainless steel, same thickness, and to make it longer, like 150, 160 millimeters long, to be sure that I have enough tang for the whole handle fit up. And also I have this huge blade. I only can fit this size like I have here right now in my heat treating oven. So any longer would be shit to anneal, to soften, to heat treat. So I'm gonna heat treat all of the blade and the most part of the tang. And then after heat treating, after all the heat treating steps, I'm gonna weld a piece to make the whole tang longer. Do a good annealing back here to make it to be soft, to not be hard as the tang should, because nobody wants a brittle hard tang on a Wakizashi. So now, as we finish the template, let's go downstairs. Chris is already preparing our Damascus steel, so let's see how far he has come. We start all our Damascus projects with grinding the steels, make a nice finish on the surface to get a clean, easy weld. This time we use 02, 15 and 20 and 1095 steels for this Damascus, because we want this 3-color steel look on this knife. Forging down the billet on our 100 kilo Bishi power hammer. It's a pretty old machine, but it's still a beauty to use. After forging, I grind over all the surface areas with an angle grinder with a rough grit to achieve a nice and even finish again, to have a clean weld later. Personally, I highly suggest you to get one of these machines. They are like 100 to 150 euros and they save you so much time on the angle grinder. So now I'm going to take 2 pieces of 02 and 1 piece of 1520. I'll ground these surfaces nice and put them in between the Damascus pieces, as you can see here. I forged a piece of now 109 layer Damascus into a bar of 40mm wide and about 15mm thick in the front. The back is going to just cut it down, and now we're going to prep the pieces of stainless steel that's going to be the cladding. Yes, you heard correctly, it's going to be a 109 layer core with some stainless steel on the outside, cutting up on the bandsaw. Then put some pure nickel in between the core and the sides, so the Damascus, the carbon from the Damascus is not going out in the outer layers that are soft, and keep where they should be in the core. Chris is prepping all the pieces and welding them together because, well, Chris is a way better welder than I am, and so he does this a lot, especially with the cut. He's good with all kind of welding machines. I'm just, yeah, decent with a TIG welder. The stainless is pretty hard to forge. It's not as easy to forge as normal carbon steels, but to be honest, all this work, all this effort is so much worth it in the end. Forging the piece out to our width and the thickness that I want. And now on the envelope, just give it a few taps just to have this little curvature that is needed for Wakizashi. In the end, since it's Sanmai, I don't really forge too much into a profile with this kind of piece, because I want the Damascus to be as big as possible on the inside. Putting into the treating oven at 780 degrees Celsius, keep it there for 2 hours and then let it cool down with the oven overnight. It is the next day, we have forged our piece of steel. I know what you think, Martin, that's not a Wakizashi, Martin, that's just a piece of flat bar that you forged out. Exactly. Why? Because it's Sanmai. I hate to forge Sanmai too much to the profile because there's just too much risk that the cladding is just pressed down into the edge, and we don't want cladding in the edge because who wants soft steel on the edge? Nobody. Template and steel fit pretty awesome together. Like I've made it for it. What I like to do with all these Sanmais is leave a little from the edge. So in the edge there could be delaminations, there could be cracks, there could be whatever. So I like to go leave at least like 2-3 millimeters from the outside. So it's already pretty much fitting perfectly, as you can see. So in the next video we're gonna cut it up, ground it to size, make the heat treating and finish all the rest of the blade. Hope you liked this video, and I hope to see you soon on part 2 of the Wakizashi 10,000 follower giveaway project.